Okay, let's get into this. Everyone talks about making the switch to Linux, right?
Yeah, it's a big topic.
But then you land, and suddenly it's Ubuntu or Linux Mint. That seems to be the big fork in the road.
It really is. They're the heavyweights for desktop users.
So we've gone through the source material you sent over, and our goal here is pretty simple. Break down this choice fast. We want to focus on that desktop experience, what it feels like, and uncover some of those hidden trade-offs.
And the key thing to grasp right off the bat is that this is like a family feud. Mint actually uses Ubuntu's core.
Ah, okay, so they share the same engine, basically.
Exactly. But they are absolutely targeting different people. The whole debate, really, it comes down to philosophy. One's slick, maybe a bit top-down. The other's all about user comfort, community vibes.
Gotcha. Let's kick things off with Ubuntu, then. Canonical's flagship.
Right. The one lots of developers lean toward.
And there's a reason for that, yeah. The sources mentioned huge community support, getting the newest software fast.
And arguably, the best hardware support out there in the Linux world, it's pretty robust.
And the interface, that's GNOME, right?
The known desktop environment.
Yeah.
It's distinct, very stylized. The sources nail it. Feels a bit like a smartphone UI on your PC.
How so?
Well, you've got that dock stuck on the left, usually. And navigation, it really pushes you towards the activities overview. It kind of hides desktop icons, forces you into searching first.
Sounds Mac-inspired.
Definitely has that vibe.
Yeah.
Very different from, say, Windows.
Okay, and this is where it gets interesting, right? The whole snap package thing?
Uh-huh. Canonical pushes snaps hard.
Now, the sources suggest there's a real trade-off here. Snaps give you that application isolation, which is good for stability, especially across different systems.
Exactly. Dependencies are handled, things are stable. That's huge for enterprise, for serious development work. That isolation plus Canonical's long-term support, their LTS cycles. That's why Ubuntu has such strong corporate backing.
But there's always a but.
Right. But that isolation, regular desktop users feel it. That's why you hear complaints about slower app startup times. Things just feel a bit sluggish compared to the old native packages.
Okay, so that sets the stage for Linux Mint. It feels like a direct response.
It absolutely is. The sources paint Mint's philosophy clearly. Take Ubuntu's solid foundation.
The engine we talked about.
Yeah, that rock-solid base, and just strip out the controversial stuff, the bits that feel imposed.
So it's like Ubuntu without the corporate agenda, as one source put it.
Pretty much. It's about user control, first and foremost, and you see that immediately in the interface. Mint uses Cinnamon by default.
And if GNOME is Mac-like.
Cinnamon is pure Windows comfort food.
Yeah.
Seriously. Taskbar at the bottom, start menu where you expect it, system tray. It's designed to be familiar, stable, predictable.
Boring in the best possible way, I think OneNote said.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds about right. Optimized for just getting stuff done right away if you're coming from Windows.
And Mint is quite deliberate about what it doesn't include, right?
Very deliberate. No snap packages installed by default. That's a big one. No user telemetry. None of that old Amazon integration stuff you used to see in Ubuntu years ago.
They actively remove things users found annoying.
Exactly. And their software manager. Genuinely better for the average user, I'd say.
How so? Better than Ubuntu's?
It loads faster, for one. And it's super clear about what you're installing. Is it a native package? Is it a Flatpak? Is it a snap? If you chose to enable those, that transparency is key to their whole community-first vibe.
Okay, performance. Since they share that core, are they basically the same speed?
In raw processing, yeah, pretty much identical. But there's a small difference, the sources noted. Mint's Cinnamon desktop tends to use less RAM than Ubuntu's GNOME.
Ah, so maybe a bit lighter on older hardware?
Could be, yeah. If you're reviving an older machine for just web browsing and office stuff, Mint might feel a tad smoother.
So let's synthesize this for someone trying to decide. The sources seem pretty clear.
They are. The matrix is straightforward, coming from Windows. Want something that just works out of the box for everyday tasks like browsing, email, documents.
Well, with Linux Mint, it just works better for that user.
Right. But if you're a developer, need the absolute latest software versions the moment they drop. Or rely on that strong enterprise support, those specific LTS guarantees.
Then Ubuntu starts to make more sense, despite the snap debate.
Precisely. It's not just about looks, it's about workflow. That Mac-like dynamic search approach versus the familiar Windows-style navigation.
And accepting maybe some corporate decisions like snaps for that enterprise strength.
Yeah, it boils down to that philosophical choice, really. Given the performance is so similar underneath, are you okay with the top-down approach and its compromises for better corporate or dev support?
Or do you value that cleaner, maybe more community-driven desktop experience above all else?
That's the core question.
Which actually leads to a really interesting thought to leave everyone with. If the core OS performance is nearly identical between these two giants, how much does that corporate agenda versus, say, community preference actually shape the long-term success and adoption of an operating system? Something to chew on until our next deep dive.